It's been hard. He's adapted somewhat like anyone else would, but he has his moments when it's just really tough and he just feels like he can't handle another day.
Mm-hmm. Is he doing anything with his time? Reading, writing?
He does a lot of reading, yeah, and he does some writing. He writes letters to people and he does some other writing.
Mm-hmm.
They did at one point offer a deal of second-degree murder, but it could have given him a lot of time in prison. I don't remember exactly how much time, but I think it was over 15 years.
Wow. And was there any discussion about possibly taking that, do you know?
There really wasn't much discussion at all because we all felt definitely no.
Okay.
We thought he would get a much better result with a jury trial than that deal they were offering.
Okay.
The best case scenario would be an acquittal.
Okay. Any hope that there'll be a last minute deal of any kind?
There is always hope. They can offer a deal all the way up until right before the jury is out with the verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was a case that just happened recently. A woman from here that killed her abusive husband, and she didn't have to serve any time. The judge didn't sentence her to any time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that hopefully our society and our justice system is progressing enough to where we understand the complex psychological issues behind these cases, and we can have compassion and mercy on these people that are victims of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think so, because I think that people know, we're taught that it's not acceptable to take the law into your own hands, and hopefully people won't see Aaron's case as a case of taking the law into his own hands. It's a case where somebody was abused for 20 years and he was, pushed to his breaking point. So I don't think that other people would view the case as it being okay for them to do what Aaron did. I think Aaron just got to a place where he just lost it. He didn't just make a conscious decision to take the law into his own hands. I think that when the abuse was reported, that something should have been done at that point. I don't think that it's ever an acceptable answer for law enforcement or for anyone to say that there's nothing that they can do. There's always something you can do. So I'm hoping that they will learn from this case, and that now maybe they will be more, now that this happened with Aaron's case, I'm hoping that if somebody comes to the police now and says, I was abused, or this man or woman is abusing kids, they won't just say there's nothing we can do. I hope they will think about this case and that they will do something.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they do accept that. I know that the sheriff's department, somebody there did tell a reporter that it was consensual, which was pretty shocking to us. Mm-hmm. But it's been my understanding that they acknowledged that he was abused by Daryl. It's really hard to say, and I haven't talked with Liz about that. I mean, it's possible that she did see signs. I think she was more shocked by what Aaron did than she was about finding out about the abuse. She seemed to accept that he was abused pretty easily. She didn't doubt that it happened. But I haven't had a conversation with her about anything that may have given her the slightest hint that that was going on. They're all responsible. Everybody that knew is responsible. If you know that somebody's abusing a child and you do nothing, you're responsible too. It's not acceptable for anyone to just turn their back on it and not do anything. We all have a responsibility. I mean, I'm sure it helps, but I don't think it even. I don't think it does nearly as much as what should be done. I think there's way more that needs to be done. I don't think that they should have restrictions on where they should live and all of that. I just don't think they should be living in our society, period. It's not acceptable at all for any reason for someone who rapes children to be living in our society, because they will do it again. We cannot prevent them from doing it by knowing their address or checking up on them or keeping them away from schools. There's no way to keep them from doing that once they're living freely in society. So they need to be removed from society, and that's just all there is to it. Otherwise, they will do it again. So by letting them live in society, we're saying it's okay. We'll try and keep them from doing this, but we know there's a chance they will. So we're saying that our kids aren't worth protecting, that it's okay to let them live out society knowing that they probably will rape a child.
Right.
That's a fear with anything. That's a fear with any crime that's committed. There's people that are sentenced to death that are innocent. There's always people wrongly convicted. But we still convict them. I mean, that's what our system is for, is to find out whether they're convicted or not, and hopefully the court system won't convict someone who's innocent.
Right.
Yeah, that's a risk with any crime, but I think once someone is convicted of raping a child, they don't have any business living in our society. Hopefully they're not wrongly convicted, but...
And what does that mean to you? Does that mean a life sentence for sexual crimes? Does that mean a death sentence for sexual crimes? What's your view?
I really don't care too much either way, whether they're locked up for the rest of their life, whether they're put to death. I mean, I've always been against the death penalty, and it's for the reason that sometimes people are wrongly accused. So I don't have a strong opinion that someone should be sentenced to death, because like you said, there is that chance that they're wrongly convicted. Hopefully they won't be, but yeah, I just think they should not be living in society, and I don't have a strong opinion on what to do from there. I just know that they shouldn't be allowed to live in society. I think whatever it takes to stop the abuse, by any means necessary, whether that's locking him. See, in this situation, we don't have to go through the argument of, is he innocent, is he guilty? I know he's guilty. So that the whole argument with the death penalty and all of that, and maybe people getting wrongly sentenced, that doesn't apply in this case. When somebody is definitely guilty, which we know he was, yeah, it's just to kill somebody. Yeah, whatever stops the abuse, definitely. I can only guess. I know that it was something that just all of a sudden hit Aaron. He was getting married. He seemed to be very happy. He had a new baby, so everything was going really well for him. We know that there was events in the days leading up to McNeil getting shot that played into all of this. So I think Aaron did have some sort of a breakdown. I think he was just pushed to that breaking point by all of the events leading up to this. I think that 20 years of abuse and everything else on top of it just built up to that point.